killed them or seriously hurt. No one seriously got injured for it. That was a miracle. There's a song by K.M.B called Miracle. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. No, I'm just playing. But necessarily, I do got a feeling that I am gonna get a lot of controversy for this one. So let's just get it started. Basically, I started following Jesus around when I was 20 years old. I not necessarily found of Jesus, because when I was a kid I always knew of God, and I started actually praying when I was in middle school. But the sad part is, though, when I prayed for stuff, it was more of I wanted stuff. Like, in a way, I feel like I kind of used God as a genie. Like, I used to be like, oh God, please tell me that this girl is gonna be my girlfriend, type of deal. And or like, please say I get this and that. And it wasn't until I was kind of going through a rough time where I started praying for things to get better, and I started thanking God for a lot of things. And that's what you should do in your prayers. You shouldn't just be like, you shouldn't only pray for things when you need something or when you want something. You should also be thankful for what you have. If you got a roof under your head, and that's what I did start praying for. Like, thank you for putting this roof under my head. Yeah, I'm going through a lot right now, but other people had it worse than me. And that's what you do kind of got to think about too. Like, in my opinion, we all grew up rough. Everybody wants to say like, oh, so and so had it easy. Nobody had it easy. People had it worse than others. But in kind of growing up, somebody, you don't know what's kind of going on in their household. Like, they could have an abusive parent. They could have affairs going on in their household. They could just a lot of drinking and stuff like that in their household. Like, you just don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And you kind of got to think about it like that. And to me, I started, like I said, when I started praying, I feel like I started using prayer as things that I wanted. But later on in life, I started praying for things that I actually did need. And then I started praying for things that I was thankful for later on. It wasn't until I was 20 years old when I actually started going to church every Sunday. And honestly, ever since then, I feel like I started learning patience more, kind of like taking God's time, and that really did help me, because I always been the type of person where it's more, if I want it, I want it now. And definitely starting going to church more, kept my patience, and it really is very helpful, because now a lot of people be like, dude, how are you so patient? It's like, I learned. And I really did. Like I said, I wouldn't even say I started going to church when I was 20 years old. No, that's not the case. I started going every Sunday when I was 20 years old. I actually grew up in kind of a Catholic home, in a way, you can say. Like, my grandparents were Catholic, my dad's family side was Catholic and stuff like that, my mom's side family was Catholic, but I wouldn't say, though, we weren't ones to be going to church literally every day. We weren't the ones to be reading the Bible. Like I said, I knew of God. I knew of Jesus. I knew Jesus was God's son and stuff like that. I didn't really learn about Matthew until, like, kind of in all Jesus followers until later on in life and stuff like that. Kind of learning more about the Bible till I was, like, 21, bro. Like, until I started going to church more. And especially the show The Chosen really got me into it. And it was like, oh, okay, like, that's cool, because I've never been a reader. I always been a watcher, and I like to watch things. And The Chosen, to me, really got me closer and learning more about Jesus. And it was like, I always thought that was cool, though. But back on my story, though, this is actually a really tough subject, because, like I said, when I was, I'll say probably 6 years old through probably 12 years old, I probably would say we went to church a lot of Sundays, not literally every Sunday, just some. And I was an ADHD kid. I did not like school. I didn't like sitting around. I didn't like listening to people and stuff like that. And when we went to church on Sundays, I didn't really like it. And I remember just kind of zoning out, just wanting to play on DS, and I want to just go home, eat breakfast, watch some cartoons, and all that, but at the same time, like, I was just being a kid at the time and stuff like that. Like I said, I never ran away from God, and I'm very thankful for that. I never was like, I don't believe in him. I never did stop believing in him. I'm very grateful for that. But what I am going to get at is I was not, everybody thinks that I literally grew up as a Christian. Like, I literally was this kid that read the Bible, and I went to a Christian private school. I went to a public school, first off. And also, second off, I actually never read a page of a Bible. I read Bible verses before, but I didn't read the Bible. I remember though when, like I said, though, we stopped going to church probably when I was around 12 years old. When I was 13, that was actually, those were my demons were talking into me. I remember I used to wake up at 3 in the morning and stuff like that, and just having dreams where no one showed up to my funeral. Like, I was, this is going to be a tough subject. But I had dreams where I passed away and nobody came to my funeral. Because I felt like when I was 13 years old, I felt like nobody cared for me. Nobody liked me. Always thought I was this annoying kid and stuff like that. like I said, I mean, until I was, I wouldn't really say depressed in that. That's the sad part. Actually, I would say I was depressed at the time. But the thing is, though, about me is, though, that I'm such good at putting on a fake smile where I went to school and I just kind of laughed it off, really. And I did hid my depression, never really talked about it. But I used to pray about it for things to get better, and thank God they did get better. And like I said, in high school, though, is a lot of trouble things was happening in my household. And I prayed about it, and things did get better. And I'm very thankful for that. That's where miracles happen. But it wasn't until I was 17 years old when me and my friend actually, and I'm the cause of this actually. Me and my friend were in the car, and I was arguing with him, and I ran a red light. And funny thing is, this is in front of school. This light was intersection. Sorry. The intersection was right in front of school. So I literally was arguing with my friend, and I ran the red light, hit another person's car, and a miracle happened that day. My car was in the middle of the road. I was freaking out, didn't know what to do. My friend was like, dude, get to the side of the road. Get to the side of the road. I get out, look for whoever I hit, and I said, I'm so sorry. Like, this is my fault. Because the light was turning yellow, so of course, it was red probably when I ran. Next thing you know, I look over in the windshield, and I see this spark and this something blue or whatever, and, it was the car I hit. Went up to him, and I go, I'm so sorry, like, this is my fault. And the guy was like, I don't know if this is my fault or his fault and stuff like that. Like I said, I ran the red light. Well, I guess when you get in a car accident, you're not supposed to admit fault or whatever. And I could have killed that dude. Something seriously could have happened. If he had a person in the passenger side of his car, like, I could have killed him or seriously hurt. No one seriously got injured for it. That was a miracle. There's a song by K.M.B called Miracle and Miracles featuring Lecrae, and he goes, got in a car accident without a scratch. And that's how I felt. That was a miracle. That no one seriously got injured. No, I mean, yeah, the cars got wrecked and stuff like that, but thank God my car insurance paid for that. And my car did get fixed and stuff like that. Shout out to my dad. But then my mom, she got this boyfriend or whatever, and he started going to church, and they were going to church, and they invited me to it, and I started going again. And like I said, I always believe in God. I just didn't have the patience for church, for sitting down, and I finally did, because I'm like, this is a miracle that I'm still alive and I didn't kill anybody and no one got injured, and I'm very thankful for that. So that's kind of, I feel like, where it kind of started for me going to church and started following Jesus more. Like I said, I didn't start going to church every Sunday till I was 20 years old. So, like I said, back when I feel like I didn't go to church for like 5 years and stuff like that. Still prayed, still knew of him and stuff like that. Still believed in him, of course. But why I really started going to church though more, sorry, back to the subject though. Like, so when I was 17, got in that car accident and really started, like, okay, it was a miracle. Let me listen to this guy's words now. Like, let me start paying attention more. So when I was, 17, 18, 19, I went to church when I could, back when I had, the day off and stuff like that, or basically back when I wasn't busy. A lot of, Christmas, Easter, of course, I went and stuff like that. When my family wanted to go, I started going. And it really did help me, but it was definitely this is where I started going every Sunday. When I was 19 years old, my grandpa passed away. And it really did hit me because when I was a kid, that guy was like one of my best friends. And he taught me a lot. Like, everyone kind of wonders why I'm a very giving person and I'm very nice and stuff like that. And that's how my grandpa was. And that's the dude that taught me a lot of stuff. And so it really did hit me when I was 19 when he passed away. And once I turned 20 or whatever, me and my friends kind of stopped hanging out every Sunday or whatever. And I was like, let me go to church. I still remember this. It was like October, like second week of October or something like that. I just remember Halloween was coming up. And it, sorry, I just realized I'm like, I'm off every Sunday anyways. Why don't I just start going to church every Sunday? And that's what I legitimately did. And now I'm on 2 years in a row, really, going to church every Sunday. And honestly, it feels really good. I feel like I'm learning a lot of patience, and I get frustrated, but at the same time, I kind of think about it, and what I think about, I'm like, okay, what would Jesus do in this situation? And it really does calm me down. It's like, do you really think that, Corey, do you really think if you say this, do you really think it's going to help the situation out? Or should you just walk away and leave it? And that's what I try to do now. Where the old me would have been like, well, you know what, you do this and that. A lot of times when you argue back with people, that's what they want. People want you to get under their skin. And those are people that are lost people. Those are people that have demons in them. They're just, they want what's the word? Just basically want you to get angry. And they want you to get hot-headed and all mad and frustrated. A lot of people are like that. Those, like I said, those are haters. And it's sad to see it. Because especially when you become more into Christianity, you see a lot of demons in people. Like, I kid you not, like, ever since I started getting closer to Jesus, I see it in a lot of people now and how lost people are. Like I said, when in my last podcast, how I was talking about with bars, and I go out to bars, I'm like, these people are just drinking because they got nothing. They feel like nothing else makes them happy. And it's not even that though. Like, some of the stuff people be wearing, like upside down crosses and wearing sixes on their shirt, the 3 6s on their shirt. It's sick. It's sick how much music industry too. Like, I be listening to some songs. I'm like, what did this dude just say? Like Playboy Cardi, for example. Like, I never did like him, and there was always a hunch on him. And ever since he basically came out as a devil worshiper, I'm like, dude. And I'm a target to it too, because I used to be a huge fan of Uzi and stuff like that, and I kind of knew he was demonic or whatever, but I kind of left it alone, and because I thought he left it alone until later on, I'm like, dude, no. So I pushed myself away from a lot of that music too, and I'm like, let's chill out a little bit. Same thing with like movies and TV shows, like some things like that 70 show, they made an episode of basically mocking Christianity, and I'm like, bro, that's not cool, dude. Like, and this is another tough subject for me though too. Like, the Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane, I guess he's an atheist, but at the same time, in Family Guy, he makes fun of Jesus all the time. It's kind of like, how are you gonna make fun of something that you don't believe in, bro? Like, that's not right. Before though, everyone is like gonna be like, oh, you're judging on everything. You're judging on what people are wearing and stuff like that, and what people are listening to. Okay. Enough is enough. Like, I'm not gonna here to be on bashing on what people are, because I'm not perfect myself either. But the thing is that, like I said, that did get me closer to Christianity was Christian rap music. I got into it, I think I was 21 actually when I actually got into Christian rap music. I like Lecrae, Tadashi, Triple E, and Andy Mineo, and all them and stuff like that. Like 116 Click, like, dude, that they really do hit me, and I like that kind of. I always liked rap music. I liked rap music since I was like 9 years old. So it's like the fact that these people are preaching the word of Jesus and they're making it into music, and I'm bopping with it. It's like, all right, bro, like, let's go. and stuff like that. And it really does help me because I really do like rap music. And sadly, a lot of music industry is devil worshiping. But it's like, okay, I found a way to still listen to rap music, and it is preaching the word of Jesus, and it's making me feel better about myself. And same thing with movies. Like I still watch like Adam Sandler movies and all that, and I still watch like Friends and sitcoms. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm not gonna be on this podcast mean like I'm bashing on this for what you're watching, for what you're listening to and stuff like that. I'm just saying I'm saying on what helped me kind of get closer to Jesus and making me a better person of listening to that. Like I said, I liked rap music. I found out Christian rap music. I found out people can make songs that I like, the genre that I like, and they preach the word of God. And I really do like that. And especially in high school, when I was 17, I got Apple Music and I started listening to NF. And I didn't even know NF was a Christian until someone told me. And definitely, like, he is one of the greatest lyricists I ever listened to, honestly. That that dude has a song called I Miss the Days, and that song his different. It's so true though. In the song he goes, when did I start to believe, and when did I start to get these insecurities? And it's super true. It's like, what age did you start getting those insecurities? What age did you start having where you can't go out anymore and you feel so different? Like you literally do, you notice your flaws like later on in life. Like you're just like, dang, I am annoying. Oh, I do talk too much. Oh, I am loud. Like, why do I do that? Like, and it definitely annoys you. But to me, this is just my opinion. That's the devil talking. That's the devil whispering in your ear, like, this is what's wrong with you. This is what's wrong with you, and stuff like that. It means you got to think about it. Yeah, okay, those people are hating on you. They're saying all this about you. But at the same time, it's like, think about though what other people are saying about you. Being like, oh, dude, you're such a nice dude, bro. Like, how are you so nice? And stuff like that. You don't think about that. You're always thinking of what people said bad about you. And that's the sad part. Like, try to look on the positive side, I feel like. Since we're on the subject of positivity, a lot of times you can feel at fault, if that makes sense. You can feel down on yourself. I remember I was like 18 years old and I got into Juice WRLD's music, and it hit me. It hit me with the whole like heartbreak and stuff like that. And I mean, I never did drugs and stuff like that. And I had those feelings for girls and stuff like that. That you thought they were the one, and then they turn out they're not and stuff like that. And it honestly, that it's what you listen to is where you start believing, and you're just like, dang, like in a way I kind of wanted to be a sad boy, bro. Like I wanted to make heartbreak music and stuff like that. And now it's like, now that I'm me and stuff like that, and like I said, I got closer to Christianity and stuff like that. Now I want to spread positivity, bro. Like now I want I want to spend I want to show people that I'm happy. I want to show that I'm socializing. I remember I used to isolate myself from a lot of people. I remember when I was in school and stuff like that, I used to always have my headphones in, listening to music. So I'm like, I have my people. Those are my people. And I was not, I was bubbly at sometimes at certain ages and stuff like that. But there was that age where I had my headphones in and I was like, I'm only going to talk to the people that I am cool with. And that was so stupid of me. Like I wasn't, like I was a bubbly person. I was trying not to be. I was trying to be something that I wasn't. And that's honestly the sad part. And now I'm very thankful I'm not like that anymore. And it's more as like that. Like I'm more of the type of person, I like to get to know people. I like to know people's stories, and I like to hear about people's childhood, because your childhood has a lot to do with you and stuff like that. I grew up around my family being very giving, and I grew up with my family telling jokes and laughing it all off, and you can definitely tell that about me. And but like I said, I like to now get to know people, but I'm one, like, yeah, I'm a super nice person, and I get along with people, but at the same time, you step on my friend's feet, bro, foot, or whatever the saying is, that's a different story, dude. I'll stick up for them in a heartbeat, bro. I'll snap on you. I'll be like, yo, bro. I'll say this and that, bro. I'll show you I speak the truth. And I'm very proud of myself for that. I'm not afraid to use my voice. God gave everyone a voice for a reason, and use it for good, I feel like. Now let's get on this subject. A lot of people will be saying this. They're just like, oh, if God is real, how come my grandma died? Okay, let me ask you this. If your grandma passed away, what would you rather have? Would you rather have her be up in heaven on the most wonderful place? Or would you rather have her bones just rotting down in a hole, basically? Me, on the other hand, when my grandpa passed away, I was thankful that he was in a better place. He was up in heaven and he's watching over me, and that's a lot of times where I tend to do try to make better choices now than I used to and stuff like that. You can ask a lot of people. I used to do a lot of dumb stuff. I used to love attention. I used to love being, the wild card and stuff like that. Now I'm just more of a jokester than a wild card, I feel like. But I used to like being the wild card, but it's like now I'm just kind of thinking about it as like, okay, my grandpa's watching over me. What would he rather have? Me being the voice of the reason, or me being the moron that is getting the lecture of being the voice of the reason? Kind of pick one. And a lot of people are just like, oh, I pray for this and that. Bro, there's a reason why sometimes prayers don't work. Like, you can be like, you pray for somebody to love you and stuff like that, but guess what? Maybe that person doesn't love you and stuff like that. Maybe they're in love with somebody else, but maybe one day, not maybe, one day, someone will love you for who you are. You shouldn't. Right now, I feel like you need to change as a person, dude. Like, the person I was in high school, I'm not the same person as I was. You can ask a lot of people. I've definitely calmed down, and I'm definitely gotten more intelligent, I feel like, maturity wise, and definitely, like, I was not ready for a relationship in high school, and I was not ready for a lot of stuff basically in high school. Like, I had a lot of maturing to do. And I wouldn't, if stuff did say the stuff, some of the stuff that I prayed for back then and stuff like that, and it did happen, I want to be the person who I am today. And I'm honestly very happy for the person I am today. Do I regret a lot of things in my past? Yes. But at the same time, those things that I regret in my past made me think about what I can do in the future. Be like, okay, let me not do that again. Let me actually do this instead of that. Like, you ever heard of this saying, everything happens for a reason? Because it really does. Alright, this is coming towards the end of the podcast. But I do gotta get this one off my chest. Also, just kind of in a way, be careful on who you hang out with. Because you ever heard of the saying, I don't know exactly how to say it, but it's basically, you hang around fools, you become a fool. You hang around wise people, you become wise. And that's definitely a true statement. The people you hang around, if you hang around bums, you become a bum. You hang around people that are successful, you become successful. And definitely, like I said, make right choices and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm still learning. Throughout my journey, I'm probably gonna make wrong choices too and stuff like that. I did in my past, and I'm trying to, like I said, trying to take the right path on my journey. But I do gotta say this: try to stay positive. If you go through a dark time, I'm gonna say this: pray for it. I'm trying to spread more positivity. Think about the positive side, and it's Real Talk with K.M.B. Stay tuned till next episode.